Welcome back, everyone, to another Falcon and the Winter Soldier scene breakdown. So, we got like two clips, and they're very short, so I just want to go over both of them.
So what's our plan?
So, Bucky keeps mentioning this plan that they have, and this is probably taking place in episode 1, I believe, because in the very first trailer that we actually got for this show, we got shots of this like first scene. So, then I think that the Madripoor part of this show is gonna be like I think that the Madripoor stuff will all be part of this like the Madripoor will be like midway through. So and I'm gonna lower the speed. Okay, there we go. So Bucky mentions their plan and this is Madripoor. I've already said this before, but this will probably be midway through the season. Then this is also probably there. You see, there are shots where like everything's dark. If everything's dark and it has like a certain color, then like it's Madripoor. It's obvious. This is probably from that chase scene that we got in the other trailers. We already saw this shot. Then we already saw that shot too. I think that the outfit that Sam gets will probably be after. So that like that truck sequence might the fight scene that might happen actually a little bit after. It might be actually a little bit like later in the season. I don't know, but I'm just guessing because like Falcon has this new outfit and wings. Well, actually no, he might not. He might actually get the new outfit on his own. But yeah, because this might take place in episode 1. This shot is actually pretty interesting. So we have looks like they're in like some sort of like old town hospital. I think that this might actually be where they find like old man Cap because you see Chris Evans is coming back to the MCU and we see Sam and Bucky and they're not arguing like they usually do, even though it's kind of funny. Even though they're not arguing, it looks like Sam punches this guy. It looks like he has braids on. So, and then also Sam has his like outfit on. I think that this might actually be where Old Man Cap lives, or I don't know. And then we have this shot of the trees. I think that this is connected to the trees to the fight sequence that we saw with the flag smashers right here. Yeah, right there, that fight scene, because you see the trees in the background. What's possible is that maybe when they catch Bucky, because remember in the trailer, which I made a breakdown of that, I will link that video at the end. So when they did this, because the trees are on because the trees look very similar to the trees in that shot. So yeah, I do think that that's possible, and because you see, in later shots we do see one of the Flag Smashers jumping and punching Bucky in the face, and then he slides off, and then he's there. It is possible that maybe he falls off, and then we end up having this funny shot as we always get in these trailers, where we have Bucky falling through. I think what's probably happening is it's possible that like maybe they're inside some sort of helicopter and then Red Wing's just watching all that. We also get an updated version of Red Wing. Like the one that we saw him was the one inside the so the updated version of Red Wing. So Red Wing is supposed to be Sam's like in the comics, Red Wing is an actual bird that like Sam can control because he has this like ability where he can communicate with actual birds and it's actually really helpful. So but in reality it's just tech that made by Stark. But yeah. Anyway, then I'm gonna move on to the second clip. This is the clip that we got earlier. This looks like a way bigger group of the Flag Smashers. Like for example, when we actually got early shots of it, the Flag Smashers only seem like a certain like I don't know like two or three people. We only saw two or three of them on screen at the same time. So now we have at least like multiple, or it could be like criminals because there's one right here. This guy I don't know when, and it's pretty crazy. Like for example, people are like running through this, and when the police try to come, they're pretty strong, and yeah, so like, and they're able to like jump really high. That's why he ends up falling. So and Sam mentions how that they're way too strong. Like actually, here I'll play the clip. I have to make the speed higher. Okay, there we go.
Force. They're strong. Too strong. And they might be.
Notice how he mentions that they're too strong, almost like they got some super soldier syndrome. Yes, part of the series that I didn't mention at all in any of these videos that I made on Falcon and the Winter Soldier is that I think part of the plot of that is that Sam and Bucky are going to figure out that people have been finding a way to bring back the super soldier serum.
Be a part of the big three.
Because, for example, there are like multiple people who've taken the super soldier serum. Captain America, Bucky, Red Skull, etc. You know? So, like, and then there are also like other characters like who don't even exist in the MCU yet, like Deadpool or Wolverine or whatever.
Big three.
But yeah.
Android.
And then I love how Sam mentions androids, aliens, and wizards. Now I think what he means by androids is more of an Ultron reference. Now we know we finished up WandaVision and we got White Vision, but you see this series should take place around the same time as WandaVision, so they wouldn't really figure that out until that. Now sorcerers would probably be a references to Doctor Strange, and then aliens is probably a reference to Thanos or the Chitauri. But yeah.
Androids, aliens, and wizards. That's not a thing.
And then I like how Bucky says that's not a thing. That's because Bucky cannot keep track with everything.
That's definitely a thing. No, it's not.
And then I like how also I don't think that these two took place at the same time.
It's not.
Like for example, who's kicking up this this thing? And then also why is it from two different angles? That doesn't make sense. Anyway, so actually I want to talk about this shot where we have. Yeah, that's the shot where I want to talk about what the explosion. For example, like one of the issues with this explosion is that the explosion that actually takes place because of Zemo is probably because of the fact that you see we see Zemo in his mask, and I don't know how to connect all these dots together because like you see we got so many shots from Falcon and the Winter Soldier that like if you notice closely, you can start to like connect all the puzzle pieces together. Because you see, the episodes are supposed to be, I think there's only supposed to be 6, but they're gonna be like an hour long, so they're gonna be like even longer than WandaVision. And then we have this funny scene where
Doctor Strange is a sorcerer. A sorcerer is a wizard without a hat.
now the scene is funny, but I just want to say one thing
There are no
about it.
wizards. Doctor Strange is a sorcerer.
Not this shot. This shot right here. So you see, we see this where it says Cap is back. This is probably talking about John Walker, I think, because see this poster that my mouse is over? So it says Cap is back. This is probably a reference to John Walker. If it's not, then that means it must be like then it must be like a fourth wall break because we know that Chris Evans is coming back to the MCU. And then there's this airplane. This probably also takes place during episode 1 because if you notice, the airplane from the first shot of this whole thing is probably from there. The first shot is probably from there. Like, yeah, this airplane looks very similar to the plane that we got earlier.
Doctor Strange is a sorcerer.
This plane is very similar to the one that we saw here. So not only that, but we also see this stuff right here. So I bet all of this footage is taking place in episode 1 or episode 2. Because notice that in all of the fight scenes that we see in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, like especially like in the trailers, for example, like the trailers, in the trailers, we do see that Sam is like fighting a bunch of people who are inside the plane, and they don't look like the Flag Smashers. So what's probably gonna happen is that they're going on some regular mission because you see most of the Captain America movies, like Civil War and Winter Soldier. I'm not mentioning the first one because that was supposed to mention like his origin story, Steve's origin. But yeah, so I think because in all the Captain America movies, they always open with like some mission. Like for example, in Winter Soldier, it opened with the mission to save Jasper Sitwell, who's revealed to be a Hydra agent later. And then in Civil War, that was basically the whole thing that kicked off the whole Civil War thing. And it opened up with the mission to stop Crossbones from like killing Wakandans, but that ends up happening anyway. So yeah, so this is probably how it is because like okay, so treat this series as like a fourth Captain America movie because we have Captain America's villains, we have the Flag Smashers and Zemo, we also have Cap's friends, and we also have like the government involved again. But so so this poster is something that I actually did not notice that well, and honestly, I was actually pretty shocked that I found it because I do not do well with finding details. Anyway, so there's also this bag that Sam is holding, and while he's talking to Bucky, so I do think that maybe this bag might have like their gear inside.
Sorcerer is a wizard without a hat.
So this is probably a chase scene in Madripoor. Now, you might think that so if there's a chase scene right here with Bucky on the motorcycle and there's a chase scene on a truck, aren't they all the same? No, it's not. Here's why. Number one, this is in Madripoor, not in in the place where I theorized. I think that the place that they're having the truck chase is probably in Autobahn, Germany. So like that could be possible. So I don't know. So yeah, and then there's also this clip that I want to talk about. This clip I had not seen, so I'm gonna be reacting to this one right here.
Vulnerable. We need
All right, we get the same shots we got
hero.
last time.
Let's get to work.
Okay, this is a shot that I need to talk about. Once this is finished.
We're not a team. Nope. We're partners. Co-workers. We look down.
Oh wait, I did see this clip. Okay, so my mistakes. I remember seeing a clip like this.
Without a hat.
So in this first shot right here, then this is probably at the same shot as the other shot when it's remember there was if you remember there was a shot where there was like a bunch of military officers gathering together and yeah, so I do think that this is probably during the same scene. This is probably the explosion that happens right here is the same one that we got from earlier. So no need on that. Most of these shots we've already seen before, but like yeah, we've already seen it. So this one Sam says, "Let's get to work." So this shot is the one I want to talk about because this is the same shot from that one scene where it was showing a fight scene in there. Yeah, that scene right there, where you actually see Bucky punching someone. I think that that person is a part of the Flag Smashers right there, because that person is probably a member of the Flag Smashers. I didn't know who this was at first because, especially their hair was throwing me off specifically because that's like the only shot we see them. If we saw their face, then we would have saw if they had a mask or not. But yeah, so yeah, that shot is from the same shot because yeah, this guy's probably a member of the Flag Smashers, but yeah. Anyway, moving on to this clip. So Sam says, "Let's get to work." This is in the same scene where they're having the counseling session, so we just have more lines added to that. And I already talked about this shot right here. There's also someone's hand, or like the someone's hand is behind there. Yeah, that's someone's hand right there. That is someone's hand. That's probably the Flag Smashers because notice how the Flag Smashers, every time you see them on screen in the trailers on YouTube, you see that they're always in blue. And since I just theorized that the person who Bucky just punched in the face, ow, that probably hurts, but luckily that wasn't the middle arm. Uh, the person that's probably the Flag Smashers. Like for example, we might have gotten like a 2-on-1 fight, and in the trailer, I'll actually connect two dots together later on. So yeah, we get the confirmation it's on March 19th. This is crazy. Actually, we have had this shot multiple times, but there's like 3 people on a motorcycle at the same time. It's crazy. And then, oh, notice how there's a lot of padding on the trees because Sam is probably throwing a lot of Sam is probably throwing stuff like at the tree and it's probably breaking. I just like how there's pads on. Not much to go on with this scene. Then we get another shot of. We've already seen this shot a lot of times, so we don't really need to go up. I've already talked about that. The only thing that confuses me is these like heads right here. some people think that they're actually Skrull heads, but I don't think so for one reason. I think that like they might be like Chitari, but I'm not sure though. Anyway, more shots of this, and this part is where Bucky rips off the arm crest. It also looks like that this soldier right here has a black eye, but I'm not sure though. Could be just I don't know. Then I like how I love how Sam just like free falls off of the thing, similar to how Cap did the same thing in Winter Soldier when I mentioned about the whole like the movie opening up with a mission. But yeah, and then they keep joking around like what are they supposed to be exactly, like partners, co-workers, whatever. And then we get more shots of this. Also, we get more of that knife. That knife flip is from Winter Soldier when Bucky did that on Captain America, and we actually see him throwing it at the Flag Smash, one of them. And also, one thing to point out is that the Flag Smashers is not just a group for mostly females, because this guy, and it is a guy, I'll prove it to you right now, has a mustache. That person has to be a guy. So, and we also saw one of Bucky punching one of them in the face. So yeah, this is probably Sam's home. Like for example, we don't know much about Sam, so or yeah, I mean it could be Bucky's home, but I think it's most likely Sam's because they're out in the water, so it could be like Georgia or something. And then we get now going over the fight scene right here. This is actually has a lot to go over. Before I Bucky uses his metal arm to like skid the thing, which is what he did in Winter Soldier. So yeah, he does a lot of stuff from Winter Soldier. So this is John Walker right here. Like this is the first fight scene that we actually see John Walker having. Bucky is being resisted right here. Two of the Flag Smashers are on there. Bucky's probably hanging off the edge of one of them, but yeah. So this truck sequence is probably going to be one of the best fight scenes in the whole series. So it's going to be amazing. You're going to love it. It involves so much characters. So yeah, because we see John Walker that shot. Because you see, actually, before the helicopter comes on, you can see Falcon being resisted, which I'll show again. So that's actually Sam getting resisted because you can tell his outfit has been getting more brighter and brighter. I don't know who those two are, but they do look like more Flag Smashers. And so the Flag Smasher has been turned from a name to just an organization or like a gang mostly because there's a lot of them. And then this shot of a fight scene in there. This fight scene might happen in the same truck scene, or like maybe this is actually how it starts. I'm not sure, but yeah. So I do really like those three clips, and those clips have a lot of stuff to go down over. Now I'm gonna connect one dot that I saw in the trailer now. So I think it was in so in one of the shots of the trailer, we see Zemo getting his we see Zemo shooting a gun, and then there's an explosion after that. And in one of the other trailers, there's a shot of an explosion. There's like a bunch of people. You see, we don't see Zemo a lot, but what's weird is that Zemo is up here in this like fight. He has to be in this fight scene. You know why? Because in one of the trailers, he is shown getting his mask and he's on top of there. Like for example, maybe Zemo like explodes something, and then like that basically causes everyone to like react or something. But yeah. Because we see Bucky getting resisted in the shot. We clearly see John Walker. This is John Walker. This is not Captain America. And then Falcon is on the other side because you can tell because you see Sam and Bucky are both struggling and they both get like straight. Yeah, because you can see Sam right here. I think that this might actually be Zemo, not a Flag Smasher, because I know Zemo's in this fight scene and there's a helicopter coming off. Actually, now that I think about it, that helicopter might be the same one that actually throws Bucky into the trees later on. because that might be the same. Because that might be like the same person that might have thrown that on. Because in this shot, that might have been the helicopter right there. And then after Sam is playing everything for laughs. One thing I like about Sam is that no matter how serious a situation can get, he always jokes about it. Anyways, so yeah, we got Falcon and Winter Soldier very close up, and we're gonna get on with it very soon. I will be making Falcon and Winter Soldier videos now, and we're getting really close there. That's the video on my first trailer breakdown, on the second trailer that came out on the Super Bowl, and there's the video on WandaVision episode 8 and 9. Subscribe.